Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Today's topic is Aristotle's concept of tragic hero. Here, let us try to understand. According to Aristotle, the ideal tragic hero should be good, but not too good or perfect. For the fall of a perfectly good man from happiness into misery would be odious or extremely horrible and repellent or causing disgust. His fall would not arouse pity, for he is not like us, and his undeserved fall would only shock and disgust. Similarly, the spectacle of an utterly wicked person passing from happiness to misery may easily satisfy our moral sense, but is lacking proper tragic qualities. Such a person is not like us, and his fall is felt to be well deserved and in accordance with the requirement of justice. It excites neither pity nor fear. Thus, according to Aristotle, perfectly good as well as utterly wicked persons are not suitable to be heroes of tragedies. However, Elizabethan tragedies have demonstrated that, given the necessary skill and art, even villains like Macbeth can serve as proper tragic heroes, and their fall can arouse the specific tragic emotions. And the third one is, according to Aristotle's canon, a saint, a character perfectly good, would be unsuitable as a tragic hero. He is on the side of the moral order and not opposed to it, hence his fall shocks and repels. Moreover, his martyrdom is a spiritual victory, and the sense of moral triumph drowns the feeling of pity for his physical suffering. The saint is self-effacing, modest and unselfish, and so he tends to be passive and inactive. Drama, on the other hand, requires for its effectiveness a militant and a combative hero. However, in quite recent times, Bernard Shaw, T.S. Eliot, and Christopher Fry have achieved outstanding success with saints as their tragic heroes. In this connection, it would be pertinent to remember that Aristotle's conclusions are based on the Greek drama with which he was familiar, and that he is laying down the qualification of an ideal tragic hero. He is here discussing what is best, not what is good. On the whole, his views are justified, for it requires the genius of a Shakespeare to arouse sympathy for an utter villain, and saints as successful tragic heroes have been extremely rare. And the fourth category is, having rejected perfection as well as utter depravity and villainy, Aristotle points out that the ideal tragic hero must be an intermediate kind of a person, or man not preeminently, especially virtuous, just whose misfortune, however, is brought upon him not by vice or depravity, but by some error of judgment. The ideal tragic hero is a man who stands midway between the two extremes. He is not eminently good or just, though he inclines to the side of goodness. He is like us, but as Butcher points out, raised above the ordinary level by a deeper vein of feeling or heightened powers of intellect or will. He is idealized, but he is still as much of common humanity as to enlist or persuade our interest and sympathy. 5. The tragic hero is not depraved or vicious, but he is also not perfect, and his misfortune is brought upon him by some faults of his own. He falls not because of the act of some outside agency or vice or depravity, but because of inertia or miscalculation on his part. And the sixth point is Aristotle lays down another qualification for the tragic hero. He must be of the number of those in the enjoyment of great reputation and prosperity. In other words, he must be a person who occupies position of lofty eminence in society. He must be a highly placed individual, well reputed. But modern drama has demonstrated that the meanest individual can serve as a tragic hero, as well as a prince of the royal blood, and that the tragedies of Sophoclean grandeur can be enacted or played out even in remote country solitudes. The heroes of tragedies of Arthur Miller, Tennessee Williams, and Eugene O'Neill are not people of higher strata. They are very ordinary common people, yet they arouse the feelings of pity and fear. So this is all about Aristotle's concept of tragic heroes, and there he has come up with four qualifications or four options and categories, and out of four he has rejected three and accepted only one. And according to him, what to say, based on the criteria which he found in the dramas of his own time, he has introduced this concept for the coming generations. And we know that the critics have always been ready to come up with their own comments and ideas regarding especially great critics and writers like Aristotle. So here too we find many comments, many ideas, both positive and negative, and we know that there is always a room for improvement, and here too we can say that there is a need of modification in his concept of tragic heroes, and that door for modification and improvement will remain always open. Thank you very much.